Hey guys, I want to show you my new project. This is going to be on the channel for a little while. First I'm going to bring it over here and then I'm going to take you inside and show you around. This is my 1996 Toyota Dyna, and it's a 6-seater, right-hand drive, 5-speed manual, and I am really looking forward to turning this into my daily driver. You can see my kids have already been in there, but this is really the area that we're going to do a lot of work back here. So you can see it's been converted over for the fire department to use, and we're going to get it back to being a normal style pickup. And it's 4-wheel drive. It's the 2.8 liter diesel. It's called the 3L, and it's a little rough on the back here, but we're going to get it rolling. One of the plans is definitely to get it a little bit of a lift, potentially just a body lift, and moving the torsion bars in the front to give us some more clearance, some bigger tires, and just really get it cleaned up. We're going to be removing the lights and really just making it into a cool daily that is off-road capable. So one of the things about these Japanese right-hand drives is pretty unique, and I've never seen this before in any American cars, is that the shifter can actually be pulled up like this and folded over. And I'm guessing it's because they could slide out the one side to go to a fire or whatever. But I thought that was pretty interesting, and you don't see that on American cars. So it folds over, then comes back, and then back in ready to shift. It's pretty wild. So what you're seeing is exactly how I got it, and it was imported 4 years ago from Japan. And this is pretty cool. This is an idle adjustment screw, so you can actually make it warm up faster, bring it up to a higher RPM. Here's kind of all your controls that are for the sirens, the lights, the PA, all those still work. It was changed over at some point to an American system, so I actually do have American radio. Overall, it's, for its age, being 30 years old, it's pretty clean. I'm gonna definitely clean it up and see what we can do here, but overall it's pretty clean. This seat folds up and latches there, so it'll make a completely flat spot in the back seat. It's a pretty neat rig. So I'm looking forward to it. It also has the locking 4-wheel drive hubs and part-time 4-wheel drive. So you shift into high and low 4-wheel drive right there, and I'm really excited to get rolling on it. So first things first, I wanted to go ahead and just get all the junk cut off the back. So I'm starting with the top canopy. It's just in the way. It's hard for me to get in the back of the truck and actually stand up to measure stuff. And I want to start getting to where I can plan out the new bedsides and the tailgate that I'm going to build. So just go ahead and, with a cutoff wheel, go ahead and knock everything out. I went ahead and enlisted the help of my dad and my friend Nick. And Nick actually imports tons of Japanese cars into the country, so he has a little bit more knowledge about it than I do. But he offered to come over and help lift this beast off, and I'll let you watch us struggle with one tack weld that was hidden in the back. I'm in the window. Another thing I wanted to do is go ahead and get the light bar off, and it just had 2 rusted acorn nuts where they had bolted right through the rain gutter, so I had to cut those off with a cutoff wheel. But then just trying to lift it off here without hitting the windshield, that's like a $2,000 windshield to get to the United States, so I definitely did not want to hit it. And my inspector had to come and check it after I finished, make sure everything was good. And I thought it was hilarious. He told me it looks like it's bald, which I kind of agreed. And so I told him, I was like, we're gonna get a rack. We're gonna install a rack up here, a roof rack, and then maybe like a cargo carrier. So I passed the test with him. All right, so here's where we're sitting, and I went to cut that back little sheet of steel off. I thought it was just a piece of sheet metal. Turns out that's a 3/4 inch thick plate up against the cab. So that was interesting to get out. But once I've got that out of there and got the hose reel all out of there, I decided to go ahead and unbolt the hinges for the bed sides. I'm going to be building a completely new bedside. I'm going to try to retain the function of the folding bed sides like the original. So here we go, taking it off, and then just getting it down to a blank slate, basically. Here's the two treasures I found. 1990s lighter, and then probably a tool from the guy who was the one who built the fire truck bed. But she's a flatbed now. On to the next step. So the manufacturer says that you should install it like this. The bar goes in between here, and then those stick up in the cargo area, which to me is a nightmare. I don't understand. So I flipped it over like that, flipped the whole bracket. I don't think it's an ideal angle on those wing nuts, but I don't like the way it was sitting originally. What do you guys think? All right, so this is basically where it stands now. I went ahead and I did the torsion bar lift on the front end, and then it's got 2-inch leveling blocks on the back, and it's got the KO3 BF Goodwrench tires, all terrains. And then I went ahead and just rattle canned anywhere that was just a little rough, just until I can finish building the bed sides and replacing that bumper. So thanks for watching.